Hey everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Kings. My name is Matt and it's a pleasure to be back with you guys on the channel today, and we have a ton to talk about with Shiba Inu right now. So if you guys are new, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and let's get right into it, folks. So if you guys have not seen what SHIB is up to here on the day, we are at around 62, which is a 12% decrease from where we were sitting yesterday. And if you don't know what instigated this kind of mini crash we got going on here, it's the fact, of course, that one Shiba Inu whale moved $2.4 billion worth of SHIB into different wallets. Now, mind you, he didn't sell them, so it's a little weird that all this FUD came out of it, but the fact is he moved all these tokens to different wallets. So that led to a little flash crash, nothing major, but we are down around 12%. So the question is, where do we go from here? Are we bullish? Are we bearish? What happens now? So again, the market cap, we're at around 34 billion, which is lower, and I definitely do believe that this will come back at some point. We are unfortunately behind Doge again. I mean, that's nothing tragic. I like Dogecoin as well, but we definitely were at number 9 getting a lot of publicity for that. The volume is up a lot, but that is not very good volume, of course. That is sell volume, so that is very unfortunate. And of course, we still got this circulating supply problem, so I have no idea when this is going to be fixed. But the question is here, where does SHIB go from here? And I do have some good news that I think you guys are going to want to see. So the first thing is the fact that Shiba Inu whales have been dumping a ridiculous amount of money into this. You guys can see this whale bought $750 million worth in the last 10 days, which is literally ridiculous. I cannot believe that this actually happened. I mean, this is extremely risky of an investment, to say the least, to dump that much into what could be something bearish. Again, I hope not, but that is pretty interesting. And then, of course, you have another action here from a whale, which you guys can see over on Twitter here. Tokens transferred. This is a $1.3 billion transfer. So this is absolutely ridiculous. Speaking of things that are ridiculous, the rewards on Webull, guys, top of the link down below in the description. If you guys want to get 2 free stocks valued up to $2,300, you guys can use my link at the top of the description. You guys get started trading crypto, stocks, including SHIB, all that good stuff, guys. Top of the link down below in the description. When it comes down to it, guys, what we have to work with here is a variety of information. Again, we have all these, sort of good whale announcements and stuff, but then you obviously have the FUD that was generated from the biggest whale, of course, the billionaire who moved his SHIB to 4 different wallets, which led to this sort of slide here. And the question is, how do we counteract a slide like that? So there are a few things to take into account. So the first thing that I talked about in one of my previous videos was, of course, the motion that this graph is making, and that looks to be a triple bottom. So you guys can see we head down, we hit a bottom, hit another one, and then we have a bullish explosion. This is the best case scenario, and you guys can sort of see these bottoms being highlighted. We obviously have one bottom here, one bottom forming here, and of course one bottom in this area. So it doesn't follow this form exactly, but it is very close to where you could consider that. Now, the other opportunity for some bullish movement is, of course, the fact that this could be, if you wanted to be a little bit more ambitious with your calling here, a falling wedge. So you guys can see this looks to be a falling wedge. The problem is it doesn't really fit all that well into the wedges. So again, ideally you would see something like this, something that was a lot more in tune with, what we were drawing here. And unfortunately, this does not look to be nearly as accurate as a falling wedge really should look. So again, it is possible that that movement could be happening, but it does appear to me, at least, that there isn't quite enough of fullness from the candles, especially on these bullish candles. There just isn't enough fullness from some of these in order to really justify calling it that. So the unfortunate idea here is the fact that this could be a bearish movement with 2 rounded tops. You guys see we have one rounded top here and another sort of rounded top here. So the question is, do these 2 rounded tops lead to long-term bearish movement? And they historically, rounded tops have historically in the stock market with any other asset, have historically led to what you could call bearish movements. So that is kind of a concern of mine, but it is very possible that could be alleviated if if it is able to properly bounce off of the line of support that we've been talking about for so long on here. So the line of support that I think everybody can agree on is the 60 line. What happens at 60 is going to be extremely, extremely important, because for a while, SHIB has been in the 60s, has been sitting in here for a couple of days now. It's nothing particularly tragic. And again, if you bought all the way up here, I'm sure you're not thrilled if you bought all the way up here, but, I'm sure you're hanging in there. SHIB going down to the 40s would not be very exciting, and I don't think a lot of people would be very happy about that. So again, if you bought all the way up here, you're probably quite upset. If you guys bought anywhere here on the way up, you're probably still moderately happy because your investment has still increased. So I would say that the majority of people are still sitting okay on their initial buys, on their initial investment. But the concern here is that after we fall through this 60 line, if we do, that it could be a continual just, rocket down, which would be extremely, extremely problematic. So again, our goal here is to make sure that that doesn't happen. And we have, some lines of data here. We have a few lines of data to show that that may not be the case. So we have obviously our first line here, our second line here, third here, sort of fourth. We have a few examples of it hitting that 60 line and instantly bouncing back, which is definitely not bad. So that is definitely good on a historic, kind of context here. We have done this, roughly 4 other times, and in all 4 of those times, it has bounced back. So we definitely can hold on to that. When we check the relative strength index, you guys can see here on screen that it is near the bottom, so it is nearing what is considered oversold, and that might actually be good if we go into the 20s, because then we could, have a little bit of a rocket back up. That would be the goal if that is able to happen. Again, it is hard to tell. It is possible that we could rocket all the way up past 70, having a very bullish movement, and that is very possible, again, with that triple bottom kind of thing we were talking about earlier. So that is definitely something we could consider that may happen. So that is definitely worth taking a look at. When we check the Fibonacci retracement, which you guys can see here over on the screen, it is going to, of course, tell us all of the different values here from the most recent run. So what we have to work with, of course, is the top, which is 72, and the bottom here, which you guys can see, is 62. And essentially, what it looks to be is if the 23.6% line here, which you guys can see on screen here, is essentially being the line of resistance. So, it is very possible that for the next day or two, whatnot, we could trade just somewhere in here, trying to break past that 23.6% line and maybe, eventually having some luck. And that could still, with good timing, whatnot, lead to a bull run or a bullish movement, which is definitely considerable if we are able to break past this line and start to kind of use these fib lines as new areas of support over time. So that is definitely possible. Again, that we could see something like this, over the next few days. Again, very difficult, but it is possible. So in the end, I am still feeling bullish just because of what this pattern actually is. The pattern that is actually being created here is still, what seems to me, at least in the possibility of something that we could consider to be bullish, just because of historical data on what a triple bottom actually looks like. So again, I could still see this happening. It is very possible, and we do have some good news, of course, with all these whales buying. Maybe they are saying the same thing, so definitely worth considering. With that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily SHIB vids. My name is Matt. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.